Apocalypses and Brawl Stars seem to go hand in hand. We've seen our fair share of them, and they've always led to a lasting impact on the game, positive or negative. And in this video, we'll take a look at the concept of brawler apocalypses, taking a look at what they are, why they happen, and of course go through some cases of apocalypses, and look at what exactly made them special. First off, we need to define what exactly constitutes a brawler apocalypse. To me, a brawler apocalypse is a time period for at least a short while in which a specific brawler was extremely, and I mean extremely common in games, to the point where entire games would be filled by that brawler and that brawler alone. Furthermore, the brawler had to have been at least high A tier to S tier brawler, and one that was extremely powerful on their release. With this definition in mind, we can now look at why exactly brawler apocalypses happen. So what causes them? Well, it's a combination of factors. First of all, and this is the most important, the ease of actually getting the brawler. To have a brawler apocalypse, the brawler must be easy to obtain. For example, Rosa. Since she had a special offer in the shop to buy her, and the fact that she was also a rare brawler, led to her being easily obtainable by everyone, and therefore an apocalypse happened. A brawler like Kit, Charlie, or Sirius, who were incredibly broken on release, can't qualify for this list, simply due to the fact they were way too difficult to actually obtain. Second, as mentioned before, is that the brawler must be super powerful. If a brawler is extremely easy to obtain, but isn't powerful enough, then the brawler will not be played enough to actually cause an apocalypse. One recent example is Gus. He was the last below epic rarity brawler to be dropped, and was very easy to obtain. However, since he simply wasn't powerful enough, not enough people actually played him to count as an apocalypse. With the definition and the causes out of the way, let's get into the list. We're starting off with Rosa, who seems to be cropping up in every video nowadays. On release in April 2019, she was extremely easy to get, with a gem offer of only 19 gems in the shop, and remember, this was back when gems were actually in boxes. Furthermore, she was also a rare brawler, so it was doubly easy to get her. As for her power, she was extremely powerful. On release, her super had 80% damage reduction and an insane 6 seconds of usage. So, not only was she basically invincible during her super, but she had it for more than 2 seconds than she currently does in the present day. Furthermore, she literally only required hitting all 3 of your ammo to get your super. So not only was her super insane, but it was insanely easy to get. Overall, this resulted in a situation where basically everyone had her, and she was extremely powerful at the same time, leading to an apocalypse in which it was common to see Rosa being the only brawler in 3v3 games. How times change. Next up is Edgar, who was released in December of 2020. How easy was he to get? Not bad, considering he was given for free to literally everyone on Brawler Days. This meant, well, literally everyone had him. Not only that, but, well, he was quite strong on release too. He had pretty good health and a crazy supercharge rate. However, the main thing that made him broken was that nobody had ever seen anything like him. A brawler that could heal while attacking, and also could jump after charging his super automatically. This is still a lethal combination to many lower level players now, so imagine how it must have been when everyone was lower level against him. Yeah, he was pretty broken. And of course, this led to Edgar probably having the most famous apocalypse. So much so that it could be one of the reasons behind his immense popularity even to this day. Next up is Miko, who was released in December of 2023. And just like Edgar, he was given for free to everyone on release due to the Brawler Day update. But how strong was he exactly? Well, it's complicated. He was the very first brawler to actually be able to jump with the main attack, so it introduced a completely new obstacle to the game that people simply didn't know how to play against. It was difficult to properly time your attacks to kill a Miko, and Miko's mobility was extremely devastating, especially to throwers. Furthermore, it got to the point where games would be filled by Mikos, which in itself was its own problem. The first Miko to make a move in a Miko 1v1 would basically always be the loser. Overall, this might have been the funniest apocalypse, but not for throwers. Next, we have an apocalypse that wasn't as funny. Larry and Lawrie, who were released on January of 2025. Unlike the last two, he wasn't a Brawler Day present for free, and to be honest, he was more like a present from the Grinch. He had no special offer, and was only unlockable with credits or with the Early Access bundle. He was an epic brawler, so it wasn't too difficult to unlock him, but it's still crazy at how many people were able to unlock him because games were filled to the brim with him. Why? Well, release Lawrie may have been the greatest brawler of all time. Broken wouldn't even begin to cover how powerful he was on release. Every single stat of his was completely overtuned, leading to a basically indestructible thrower that could out DPS nearly anyone. His health, his unload speed, supercharge, main attack damage, range, gadgets, star powers, and Lawrie as a whole were completely unbalanced. This led to a situation in which Lawrie was genuinely usable on every single map, on every single mode, and against every single brawler, which led to him being played by everyone, everywhere. To put into perspective how broken he was, it took 3 straight gigantic nerfs to kick him out of the S tier, and even to this day, he's still a respected B tier brawler. Last but not least, we got a brawler that absolutely nobody respects to this day. A brawler so bad and so oppressive that he's basically treated like the Voldemort of Brawl Stars. Who else but Buzz Lightyear, who released in December of 2024. The first and hopefully last temporary brawler, Buzz Lightyear was given for free to everyone. Not only was he given for free, but all 3 of his forms were given for free. Yes, he was basically 3 brawlers in one. Not only that, but all 3 forms were probably the best brawlers in the game. Each form genuinely terrorized the game, and they were built to. Since Buzz was a temporary brawler, and above that, a collab brawler, he was made to be broken. He was made to be remembered, and he was made to leave an impact on the game, for better or for worse. Unfortunately, this had the impact of being absolutely horrible to play against for months, but you can't necessarily blame Brawl Stars for making that decision. As for how much he was played, it was probably the most out of any brawler apocalypse, simply due to the fact there were 3 of him. This meant that it was much more likely to face off against him, since he was 3-1. Furthermore, more people played him due to the limited time nature he had, so FOMO definitely had a part in how much he was played. Overall, I would say he was the epitome of an apocalypse. He dominated the meta while being extremely widespread for months before finally being removed. And with that, we're done with the history of apocalypses, but one question remains. Why has there been an apocalypse since Buzz Lightyear? Well, there are several reasons. First of all, they simply haven't given a brawler for free since then. The last Brawler Days, which usually gives a brawler out for free, didn't have a single brawler that was given for free. Sure, they gave Sirius out technically for free, but it was still extremely time consuming for most players to actually get him. Furthermore, Brawl Stars simply haven't been dropping brawlers under the epic rarity anymore, which means that most brawlers take time to actually unlock for most players, so we can't have a Rosa type of situation again. Finally, I believe Brawl Stars has actually added a feature in which it would be less likely to face multiple of the same brawler in the same match, which would make the likelihood of true apocalypses happening much lower. Overall, it's safe to say, unless we get a new broken free brawler, we've seen the end of apocalypses. Is this a good or bad thing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, if you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe to help support the channel. If you want to support the content even further, become a member for some special perks like helping out on videos or being in videos themselves. And finally, watch this video, check out this playlist, join this Discord server, or check out my music channel if you like the music in the video.